Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. We're playing Simon's Quest here in 3D. Let me tell you, this, at least what I'm looking at, looks pretty good. This is the first time I'm using it, and I'm just recording it as we go, right? And I'm trying to get my bearings here and trying to remember these old games. And let me tell you, looking at them in this format is actually pretty cool. I didn't know about this. I guess this has been out since June or something. I just found out about it today because I was on my X account and I saw a comment somebody made, and I was like, "What is this? The NES in 3D? New emulator?" And man, look at these textures, man. This is pretty cool for being just something that you can buy for $7 and what is it, 49 cents. This is what I paid for it. I'm gonna put a links down below, guys. I am not being sponsored. This is just my own thoughts on something that I found a good deal on, and I put it on. And, I'm having fun with it, just trying every single game that I can. I started with Simon's Quest. It took me a little bit to understand how this worked, right? But just anything that'll put back the excitement in these old games, I think, is pretty cool. I mean, I really wish somebody did go back into these games and make them 3D or what have you. And just so you know, again, I'm going to put links down below. Besides this emulator that's in 3D, there's also a Play NES games in 3D and VR, and there is also a profile maker, so you can make your own. Right? They're all available for sale. As far as I know, or some of them are just available for download. You know how they tell you, oh, do you want to donate or something? You can do it on your own. It's called 3D Send Maker, the one that, if you want to make your own stuff. But guys, I was pretty surprised. I was taken by this because I couldn't believe, how, even though it's very basic, for $7.50, to get this kind of quality right off the go is great. And let me tell you guys that there's other games. I'm going to put up the menu here. And what you're looking at is my backup drive where I have some of my NES stuff. And what you do is you click on the game that they have, then you go on your drive where you backed up the game that you own, right? And you pull out the ROM, you know, and then it loads it up, right? It loads it up, and then you start playing. I played Contra. That wasn't, at least to the parts that I got, because I was just trying to film stuff right away. It wasn't as good as Simon. You can still tell some of the 3D detail on them. You can see the shadows, for example, in the background. And, of course, you have the controls. The water's a little flickering. I think it's pretty cool. I mean, for starters, I think it's pretty cool. But if people out there using that maker that they have are able to improve on these, I think it's pretty cool. I played this. I played Donkey Kong. I played a couple other games. I put Ninja Gaiden 3. And it just varies, right? It really varies from game to game. I guess depends who is making these at the time, on how it works. I'm going to put links to everything. I'm pretty satisfied, especially for $7.49. I can't complain, guys. I mean, whatever. It's less than $8, I think, with taxes and everything. But you guys go ahead and try it out if this is kind of stuff you like. I mean, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a great idea. I don't have 3D, but if I was that kind of person, I would probably try it out too. For me, the 2D's enough because, I have a pretty good library of NES, but there's so many games. City Connection, Blaster Master. They even have Donkey Kong 3, Dragon Warrior 3, 2, DuckTales 2, Elevator Action. I mean, there's a lot in there. So again, once you find the title on their menu, then you have to go and look up for yours, right? Look up yours. And for example, in Donkey Kong, at least in the first stage, you could tell that the first two platforms are like 3D, and then they get the first two are solid. You know, it's just a trip. It's just a trip. You never know what you're gonna get. The fires, you know, they start flickering more. They even get jumpier. The barrels are pretty cool. You know, they really look 3D, which I thought was great, right? I think that's always a better look for the barrels. You know, it gives you that Congo Bongo sort of feels, I guess. I don't know. But it was pretty cool playing, you know, Donkey Kong that way, guys. And I'm going to leave this playing because, you know, just so you guys can see, you can forward it, you know, whatever. But I just wanted to give you samples of what I tried, right, of all the games that I was able to put on here. And you can get more or less an idea of what they look like. But I'm telling you, for what the price is, you know, less than $8 to get a modifier like this type of emulator, I think it's pretty cool, guys. I think it's well worth the value. And, you know, for those of you who are so inclined to have more technical knowledge, I think that the maker that's downloadable, you know, that you guys can go and play with, maybe you can make other games. I mean, it's up to you. Depends how much of a hobbyist you are. But for as far as me, man, this at $7.49, I have to give it a 10 out of 10. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Members, of course, see this first. Thank you so much for being members. If you're not a member yet, remember 99 cents. If you're not, make sure you like, subscribe, comment. You let me know if you played with this or if you know of any others. You know, anything that's out there. You know, I'd love to play with these things. Anything that'll improve our games or modify games or just bring some sort of excitement to the community, I think it is a great idea. All right, guys, I will catch you on the next one. Take care.